Welcome, everyone. This is Wrestling Overtime, and today we will be doing predictions to NXT Battleground and New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. And we're going to kick it off with WWE NXT's Battleground from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. First, we're going to kick it off with Nathan Frazier in Axiom versus the OC for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I want to go through breakdown for breakdown here. It is a 50-50 in my opinion who wins this, but I am going to go ahead with my prediction. They might be going on a limb here, but I am going because I think you can get something out of this. You go Nathan Frazier and Axiom retaining these belts. They're so good, so damn good as a tag team for just coming together. They're so good, so in sync. The ratio, the golden ratio into the Phoenix Splash, perfect combination, super seamless. They're getting their flow down for sure. Definitely for me the best tag team in NXT right now. Um, but yes, in my opinion, we go keeping these belts on Nathan Frazier and Axiom, and keep an eye out because I am going to end up doing a NXT Heatwave early prediction for what I think that card looks like, and even some bold predictions on that card. Match 2 in the predictions: Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice in the NXT Underground. There was discussions of this being in the Octagon. The pitches were out there for that. I thought that would be cool, but it seems logistically can't happen, which is sad. But an NXT Underground match with no ropes, I'm still interested. In the Apex, I am interested. I would not hate in this specific match. You have people in corners, one person for one person. Let's say Shayna has Josh Barnett in her corner as a cornerman. Wouldn't hate it. You know what I mean? Be pretty cool. And I think Lola, if I'm being honest here, would be her sister, who wants to get into wrestling to begin with, who I think has been interested in getting into wrestling because of her sister, Valerie. So it is interesting. I think they will have a cornerman in their corner, at least one. But I do think throughout the show you will see UFC crossover in some sort of way. You know what I mean? You expect it. I expect it. It's in the UFC Apex. It'll be interesting and cool. I would not hate seeing some TNA surprises throughout the show, and I will go through some that I think might happen on the show. But who I think wins this match, it's not 50-50 for me. It's like 70-30. Yeah, 70. Yeah, 70-30. I thought I just did something wrong there. It's 70-30. And it's Lola Vice. Lola Vice via knockout. I see that in my head a lot because you at this point you think I hate doing this because I love Shayna's run in NXT. I watched Black and Gold, but I love NXT now and back then because I want to see the young people thrive. Watch them when they grow, like not, grow up, but you know what I mean. Get better, develop, and then they go to the main roster. You see how they go and work, and if they can get better on the main roster, I'm just I'm a big fan of seeing the development process as a wrestler. Big fan of that. In Japan, I'm a big fan of seeing that. So, you know what I mean? But I see, because this is why I see Lola Vice getting the win here. And I don't like bringing this up. Do we think, hate doing this. I don't like doing this because I love Shayna. Um, Do you think, and I have to tell myself this too, do you think if she wins this, this will change anything for her on the main roster? If the answer is no, Lola wins. There is continuity from the main roster with gimmicks and stuff from NXT, but she's still in a tag team. She's gonna turn 44, which I don't like putting that like age is not. It's just a number. She can still work in the ring. It's just they look at that. They look at how she's been booked before. They, it's just so much going against her, which sucks. And if the answer was no, that it would change anything if she wins this, it has to be Lola. I had to be honest with myself, and I said it's not gonna happen for her, which sucks. It does. One of the most dominant women in NXT, her and Asuka. And you look back and you're like, man. But you're also like, if this doesn't change it, if she wins, you're gonna have to put over Lola. She's your young badass that you're really trying to get to the NXT Championship, Women's Championship level by either the end of the year or early next year, even maybe a stand and deliver opponent. Depending how long they want to keep Julia down there, she could be down there until stand and deliver and losing it to Lola. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I am interested in seeing this process and how it goes. But I have Lola winning by a ref stoppage. It would be, let me say, a surprise from UFC side that I want to see during this match or even throughout the show is like a guy like Forrest Griffin, but more than likely for me that I would love to see is Daniel Cormier on commentary. I think it'd be cool just because his insight for MMA and it just being a little bit more dialed in. If it'll be chaotic, Vic's gonna have to control it, but I don't know if he can because he can't control Booker at times. Even though I do, Booker's funny at times. He's real funny. I want to see it at least during this match. You do Daniel Cormier, Booker T, and Vic Joseph, but I don't see it happening. Like as much as I want to see that, I don't see it happening. But I do have Lola ref stoppage, and it sucks to say that if you in your head say if this doesn't help Shayna on the main roster, it's got to be Lola. If the answer was no, you know what I mean? Sucks. But let's go on to the next one. The third match in my predictions of NXT Battleground from the Apex. It is the North American Championship match. The champion Obafemi versus Wesley versus Joe Coffey in a triple threat match for that championship. I see shenanigans. I see shenanigans happen during this match. Specifically during this match. I see Gallus getting involved. Let's say this. This could be one of the surprises from TNA if you really wanted it to. But this is how I have it. Gallus interrupt. And either during the interruption, Wesley loses to Oba via that. Not getting hit by him, but getting distracted. Or Wesley takes out or tries to take out Gallus, doesn't. Joe Coffey, which I'd love this one better. Joe Coffey gets pinned by Obafemi. So then you could save Wesley for another down the line, either that or World Championship down the line, building him back up. So I have Obafemi retaining, but after this is what I would do. After the match, a beatdown from Gallus on Wesley, and he is saved by Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, the Rascals get back together. For Heat, I don't want to give that away, but you heard it, you're gonna assume it, and I'll just go ahead and give you a spoiler of one of my bold predictions for the Heat Wave card. Gallus versus the Rascals. I'd love to see it. It'd be interesting to see. Um, but that is one of my bold predictions for Heatwave. But I have Obafemi retaining, which should be a banger of a match. Um, and Lola and Shano should be good. Um, the one match that I'm not excited for is the tag match, but it's more. I'm going to try to be nice with this. It's more the mobility of Luke Gallows. Carl can work still at 44. It's just Luke is slower, you can tell. Plus, he was never the quickest. It it's hard, you know. But for the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion in a ladder match, just like the men did. I want to say back in da, 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 da. Ooh, that's hard. 2018? 2018, right? 2018 or 2017. I don't remember exactly, but I did watch it live and I was like, wow. One of the best ladder matches I've ever saw. And Adam Cole won that match. It was a great match. My original pick for this, my original pick was going to be Mia Yim. And the reason I was going to say that she could have a program, a short little program, put over Jada Parker. You know what I mean? For Heatwave, you can get her the belt, be the first champion, kind of say in people's minds, remind them, and also be like, also say if there was a mid card belt when Mia was around, Mia would have been a North American champion for the women. You know what I mean? It'd be a cool little callback to that. You know what I mean? But I don't see it happening anymore because we got on SmackDown next week in Glasgow, Scotland, we've got Nia versus Mia Yim. I will not call her that other name, but we got Nia versus Mia, and Mia is going to more than likely lose in a quicker fashion to Nia. And you can't have that. You can't, when you're women's North American champion, you can't have her lose. So that took her off the board for me after I saw that. So this is where it gets interesting. If you want to put it on an experienced wrestler, you could put it on Fallon. She could benefit from it. She could. This is where it's going to get interesting for me. I do not have Fallon winning this. I have Fallon being one of the first challengers for Julia because she is one of the more experienced women down in NXT. Um, so I'm going to cross out Mia and Fallon for the reasons I just stated. Um, I'm going to cross out Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka, but they will both do something crazy in this match, I'm telling you. Especially Sol. I think a Soul Snatcher will be off the ladder. And it scares me. It really does. But they're going to go. There's a couple of women in this match that will go out of their way to make this memorable for the first ever women's North American champion. Um, so it leaves Soul, Lash, Jada. For me, I'm going to cross out Soul because that go home math doesn't help. But also, I think they're going to do a crazy spot that they're going to sell for a while. And it's going to be like that Soul Snatcher. And I think it could be on any of them, but I think Kalani would be the person that could do it. Like you could do the Soul Snatcher on. We'll see. But leaves Lash and Jakara, which you don't usually put a inaugural champion as a heel champion. So that's kind of where it's going to get issues for me. If you don't usually put it on a heel, you only got two options. Kwani Jordan, and Sol Ruka. And I want Jada at some point to be a North American champion. I'm going to have changed my mind. The go home math doesn't work this time. Sol Ruka wins it. I've changed it just now. Sol Ruka will be your first ever women's North American champion. Mm. See, this is my only issue with it. Yeah, face would fit the inaugural champion role, but also Adam Cole won the first ever North American champion, but it wasn't stated that he was a heel yet, was it? If he was, like, I think he was actually. To be honest, T- tell me down in the comments. I think he was a heel. I might be wrong here because I'm trying to. I think he was a heel, and he was the inaugural North American champion. I'm about to change my prediction again. It's hard. It's really hard to do this because you need women for Julia to face as soon as she becomes champion by beating Roxanne. By beating Roxanne or Jordan. It's it's interesting here. I'm trying to think. I have. Mm, she doesn't have to be a long champion. Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley's your first women's North American champion. Yeah, Jada could use a little more seasoning, to be honest. As much as I want her to get a championship earlier, but I think we give it to Fallon. I think that's the reason she stayed in NXT because there was rumors and pretty clear that they wanted to bring Fallon up in the non-televised draft pool. I think it was for SmackDown or something, but she was main roster ready in ring wise. She's pretty good on character work. It's just you need somebody down there still to do this. So I have her winning the Women's North American Champion, being the first ever Women's North American Champion. Let's continue on with the next match of the night. We've got, which on the website is listed as Trick Williams versus Ethan Page. Uh, Now, in this specific matchup, in his first ever match in NXT for the NXT Championship, Ethan Page. I have, this is a difficult one. There's one of two ways this is either going to go. Because I don't see Ethan Page winning the title. I see it as either, because Metaphor's getting involved. Metaphor is absolutely getting involved at least once in this match. Metaphor, there's three options actually. One of them I don't want to happen. You could either, and might be why it doesn't main event, is Ethan Page wins via DQ. You can't have that main event if that is your thing. So if this doesn't main event, there's a red herring off in my brain that tells me it's going to be a finish like this. Ethan Page DQ'd, Noam Dar hits him. Then, with that finish, sets up Heat Wave in the main event. Trick Williams, Ethan Page, and Noam Dar for the NXT Championship. Which, if this is not main eventing, this tells me it's going to be a screwier finish. And you're going to protect Ethan Page in this. I'm almost certain you're gonna. And you're going to have to protect Trick too. So I think the DQ might be what's happening here. If it doesn't main event, that's going off in my brain that might happen. The other two options, I don't like as much. Ethan Page wins via a botched interference by mistaken accidental hit from like a Noam Dar to Trick Williams. Because they're after Ethan Page. I know they're heel versus heel, but they're after Ethan Page for attacking them laying them out, and Noam Dar has the most heat with him because he took that NXT Championship shot away from him, which this would be his shot. This would have been his shot. So he could either do it that way or the other way around where Ethan Page loses because of that. So these three ways lead, I think, any way you want to a triple threat if you want. And there's not enough options in NXT to really be picky. So I think that's going to be your triple threat for Heatwave. I really do. And I'll save those other predictions for Heatwave on that video. Next matchup, which on the website is currently Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, versus TNA Knockouts Champion Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. I have Roxanne Perez retaining. I know it's gonna be one of them cards where you're like, well, nothing really happened in the way of changes of belts. I think you'll see that more at Heatwave, to be honest. I really do. Um, but I have a feeling Roxanne wins via roll up or cheating ways. Then we set up. This is still. I still think it could happen. It can happen, but will it happen? I don't know. But I'm gonna assume she'll be healthy enough. But it's almost concerning, and I almost say you don't want to do it because she's got to match that next week. It'll be even more physical, to be honest. It'll be her versus Saray at Marigold. Marigold, no, Marigold. You know what I mean? So it's like it's difficult here because if you have Julia for Heatwave is the drop point, the losing the title moment for Roxanne Perez. Ava's fed up with her ways of like, well, I beat Jordan Grace. You know what I mean? She does something like that, very cocky. Again, to Ava, who set this match up to try to do that, try to teach her a lesson. She will, but it will not fully succeed, in my opinion. What you will see is she gets this final thing like, okay, you're messing with me a lot. Okay. She makes that call, Heatwave, Herver, Julia beats her at Heatwave. That is what I'm feeling. Do you feel me, sir? I'm sorry. But that is the end of the predictions for NXT. But I want to go over this real quick, though. The person I think they will send over for Against All Odds is this Tatum Paxley. They kind of hinted towards it, like I want it too, or it means something to me too. So I'm interested to see who they do send over, but I think it's Tatum Paxley. I'm interested in that. But I do think Roxanne wins here. I really do. Now, to the predictions for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion at Osaka Joe Hall. Some of these I won't know enough about. I know parts of things about them. So the ones I don't fully know, I'm going to go over very fast. Let me close up for everybody. Okay, first match that we'll go over. I don't know if this is official match because Wikipedia, you never know. But Tetsuya Naito versus Callum Newman. It's of course for me Tetsuya Naito wins this clear. Get that out of the way. 6-man tag between TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr., and Robbie Eagles and Katsui Fujita. Versus Bullet Club War Dogs, Driller Maloney, Clark Connors, and then I also have LJ Cleary next to him. I have TMDK winning this. I have TMDK winning. That is a quicker one for that. Then we've got Yuya Mura versus Great Okan for the King of Pro Wrestling Championship with a more wrestling based match rules. So with that, I have Yuya retaining the belt. And yeah, let's move on. We've got in a six man never open weight tag team championship match with the champions Hiroshi Tanahashi, Toru Yano, and Oleg Boltin versus Yota Tsuji, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi. I have the retaining of Tanahashi, Toru Yano, and Oleg. That's what I got. That's what I got on that one. Then for the New Japan World Television Championship, Jeff Cobb versus Tomohiro Ishii. I have Jeff Cobb retaining this in a very good match. I think it's going to be one of the best matches on the card, to be honest. It's a sneaky banger. Let's see. Then we're now down to the last parts of the card. We've got for every belt in a four-way tag team match for the IWGP Tag Team Championships and the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships, combining them together. We've got Bullet Club's Kenta and Chase Owens, the current IWGP Tag Team Champions. Why are they tag champs? That's just my thought. Then we've got the Gorillas of Destiny, El Phantasmo, and Hikuleo. Then we got Bishamon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshi-Hashi. Then we got TMDK's Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste, formerly known as Slapjack. I'm kidding. I don't want to remember that. I don't want to. It was dark times. Pandemic wrestling. Pandemic WWE wrestling. But pandemic wrestling altogether, other than a couple people, was not the greatest. It, this prediction leans heavy on if Shane Haste resigns. If he resigns with New Japan, TMDK walks away with both belts and they combine them. That's how I would book it if they re-sign him. Because I don't see Hikuleo and El Phantasmo winning because Hikuleo's contract's coming up this month. This could be his last match, to be honest. I don't want Bishamon getting it. But if that's your only option, I'm going Bishamon. I'm going TMDK. I'm going to think that they will re-sign Shane Haste. So I have TMDK win that. For the Never Openweight Championship, Shingo Takagi versus Hanare, which should be one of the best matches on the card as well. I have an upset. I have Hanare. I have Hanare winning this. I think I have Hanare. Yeah, I have Hanare winning. Then, the co-main event of Dominion in a lumberjack match, which could be a death match as well. I don't remember fully, but I think it's a lumberjack death match. But in that match, for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, we have got Jon Moxley, the IWGP Champion, versus Evil of House of Torture. I've heard such great things about Evil. Nothing but glowing reviews. Um, I've heard he's one of the most popular people out there in Japan. So, man, put the belt on him. Come on, you haven't seen his first reign? Put the belt on him again. I'm kidding. Keep it on Jon Moxley. Keep it on him until Wrestle Kingdom if you want to. And then you have Shooter, Shota Umino, beat him for the IWGP title. That's how I would do it. Shota gets put over, get a younger talent as a world champion. There we go. Then in the main event for the best of the Super Juniors 31 tournament final, El Desperado versus Taiji Ishimori. I have El Desperado finally getting a best of the Super Junior win, beating Taiji Ishimori in the best match of the night. I'm predicting the best match of the night. I think it will be the best match of the night I wouldn't say by far, but it will be a great match. I think it could be great. Um, I'm excited for both cards. I will be watching both cards, but down below in the comments section, do you want me to react to both of these shows via live stream? Tell me down in the comments below. I'm interested in doing it. Would you guys be interested in me doing that? And thanks everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content, for more great content that are coming out very soon, like the heat wave prediction card and so much more. Um, Thank you everybody for really watching this. I appreciate it. There will be more content coming soon. Peace. Love you all. I'm out.